the hardest part about being a couple in America is that at work, at church, at school, I'm expected to be married to a guy. And, you know, I wear my rings and someone will say, "Oh, you're married." Yes. What's your husband like? So now I have to dance through the pronouns or simply, you know, break their face and come out and say, well, she is a clinical psychologist. She's a warm, wonderful person, and you really should meet her. You'd like her. She's got a sweet spirit.
Every time I look at these trees up here, it makes me think about you coming out here and you just volunteering to garden around the
Well,
home.
yes, I had to beautify the house.
It wasn't that bad.
It was just a bachelor's place.
Well, it needed a few plants.
It needed my touch.
Yeah, but I remember that moment where we started flirting in front of the tree.
Right in front of that tree.
Yeah.
We met in church.
Yeah.
And she doesn't remember it.
I do remember that. I was in the choir. I remember that. I do, indeed.
Honestly, the day that I saw her in church that first time, I thought, she should be with me. She makes me feel important. She makes me feel needed.
You know, we have a spiritual foundation. We have a love for our culture, for African people. So those are just only some reasons that we fell in love.
On dreary days or rainy days, I like to read, and sometimes we just go out and sit on the porch and talk and watch the grass grow. It's cool and shady, and it can rain or whatever, and you don't get wet out. It's nice. The beginning of the year, I had a surgical procedure. And when I went in, Amorie went with me. She was by my side when I went into the surgical suite when they were preparing me for the procedure. I told the nurse, the physician's assistant, and the surgeon that I wanted her to be told when the procedure was over and whether I was all right, what went on. So I went into surgery and they escorted her to the waiting room where the other family's members are. And when I came out of recovery, they told me to get dressed, and they said, "Do you have anyone with you?" And I said, "Yes, my partner's here." She was supposed to be told whether I'd made it through what happened in the procedure. Does she know that I'm even out? And they said, "Well, I don't know. We'll see if we can go find her."
It was very distressing, you know, to be sitting in the waiting room and waiting and waiting and waiting and seeing other families getting the attention that, you know, that I needed to have at that time, and it just really devalues us as a couple.
As a married couple, a husband and wife, the husband or wife would always be told by the physician, so-and-so came out okay, and this is what we found. She got nothing. She got none of that, and I got none of that.
It really reduces us to almost like second or third class citizens, and we deserve the same kind of protections through the law as anyone else. Domestic partnership is fine, but I think that having marriage takes it to a different level. It says that I am equal to you. I'm not less than you.
I'm hoping that my neighbors will get to see me as a person who deserves to have a marriage, a real marriage.